Very much. Story we're following at 5. Coffee workers, the baristas at both Sunnergos Coffee in Louisville and Kentuckiana Starbucks locations are striking today. They're calling for a living wage and a higher quality of life for union workers. Grace McKenna was at today's rally and picket and tells us why this is just one example of a much bigger picture for Louisville.
The labor movement hit Louisville's coffee scene months ago, but since then, baristas at Sunnergos say negotiations on their contract have sort of stalled out. That's why they're holding this one-day strike to shut down locations like this one on 5th Street. Some Kentuckiana coffee shop doors are closed Monday as baristas from Sunnergos and Starbucks in the middle of union contract negotiations call out those companies.
This felt like the next best tactic because meeting at the table clearly wasn't working.
The baristas say negotiations have stalled. Some from Sunnergos we spoke with want a raise, saying the $8.25 plus tips many make isn't a living wage.
And I can't survive off of the $5 a day I get.
In recent weeks, union talks at UPS have been at the forefront in Louisville, but union movements among service industry workers are spreading. Professor Ariana Levinson with U of L says that's because of a number of factors, from the pandemic to inflation to the workforce.
You're getting Gen Z into the workforce now, and they're a lot less willing to just spend their entire time working and just, making ends meet.
Levinson says within a business, higher unionization rates can impact even non-union workers, and the same principle applies when union efforts spread across companies.
Once you get to a certain tipping point, you have enough people unionized, then that means that all the boats are rising.
She says that's perhaps why Monday we saw baristas from across Kentuckiana and across different chains come together.
Because we haven't gotten very far in the process, and we've been met with a lot of resistance and unwillingness to negotiate.
We reached out to both companies today. Sunnergos declined to comment, but Starbucks sent us a statement, writing in part, Starbucks is committed to progress negotiations towards a first contract. It goes on to say union reps have, quote, consistently failed to show up for our partners despite the repeated claims and escalating publicity stunts. Coffee is part of the daily routine, and these workers say they are too.
We should be able to have families and lives and be able to pay for that.
So on the picket line, they're taking it one day at a time. In Louisville, Grace McKenna, WHAS 11 on your side.
Sunnergos did tell us that some of its stores were open today.
And a new twist in a death investigation after a woman went missing in Jefferson Memorial Forest. Lyndon Bray was reported missing late Thursday night after she went hiking with her dogs. On Friday, police found her body. Well, now police have arrested her boyfriend, Timothy Winterholler, for setting her car on fire. According to court documents, Winterholler is the one who reported Bray missing to police. Police say he then admitted to setting a fire inside her car. The car was found right near where the body was found. The coroner's office said Bray's death was due to ligature hanging. They have not yet released the manner of death. Right now, Winterholler is facing an arson charge.
Also today, we learned that 2 teenage brothers from Kentucky who died in a boating accident on Lake Cumberland Friday were the sons of the well-known Fisher Holmes. It happened Friday in Pulaski County. 18-year-old Chase Fisher and his 14-year-old brother Cole were on a jet ski on Lake Cumberland that collided with a boat. The coroner says both were wearing their life jackets. In a statement released today by Fisher Holmes reads in part, our deepest condolences are with their parents, Greg and Amy Fisher, their sister, and their grandparents, Henry and Elaine Fisher. The Fisher Group has always been a company about family, and our team is grieving with and praying for the entire Fisher family. We do want to point out here tonight that this is not the same Greg Fisher, the former Louisville mayor, but a different family. Jay?
Today, the funeral service for Oldham County teacher Max Emerson. Emerson was shot and killed in Washington, D.C. on July 5th. He was in town for a teacher development program at the nation's capital. Emerson was a student wrestler turned assistant coach for Oldham County High School. A man has been arrested in connection to the shooting last week. He is now charged with murder. The family maintains that Emerson was robbed at gunpoint. Right now, family, friends, and Oldham County High colleagues are remembering Emerson at the Southeast Christian Church in Crestwood. He was just 25 years old.
Also today, a Marion County Sheriff's deputy who was killed in the line of duty last week in northern Indiana was laid to rest. 61-year-old Deputy John Durham was driving an inmate back to the Marion County Jail from the hospital in Indiana. Police say when he walked around the van to let the inmate out, the prisoner used the chains on his handcuffs to choke the deputy to death. Deputy Durham was with the Marion County Sheriff's Department for 38 years. The inmate was charged with felony murder, robbery, and escape. A late developing story here at 5. A Louisville judge has ruled that the controversial Castleman statue does not have to be reinstalled by the city, but it's only the beginning of another legal battle. The statue was removed in June of 2020 during the Breonna Taylor protests. The group Friends of Louisville Public Art have been fighting to get it back up on its pedestal in the Cherokee Triangle. Late today, Jefferson Circuit Court Judge Jennifer Bryant Wilcox ruled the city does not have to do that. But Steve Weiser with Friends of Louisville Public Art told me a little while ago that they will appeal the ruling. The statue is in a city storage lot. And this morning, the popular pavilion at Riverside, the Farnsley Mormon Landing in southwest Jefferson County, was destroyed by a fire. The blaze was recorded by PRP firefighters when they got to the scene at 9:20 this morning. And in a Facebook post, Farnsley Mormon writes they are heartbroken to lose the pavilion, but are grateful that no one was hurt. Louisville Parks and Recreation says the fire is believed to be caused by an electrical malfunction from a vehicle that was parked right by the pavilion. It then spread on fire to the pavilion. Firefighters say they do not believe the fire was intentionally set.
Today, the United States Food and Drug Administration approved the first long-acting drug to protect babies from the respiratory virus, RSV. The drug will be sold under the brand name Beyfortus. It is a lab-made antibody that helps the immune system fight RSV. Studies show the drug can reduce the risk of RSV infection in babies between 70 and 75%. Under the FDA approval, babies can receive a single injection to protect against their first season of RSV that typically lasts about 5 months. Children up to the age of 2 can receive another dose to protect them during their second season facing the virus.